trying to think of what to say real quick. I'm not really too sure how to start this off. This is an introductory video. It's not me having like a panic attack on the screen. I don't do that anymore. That is like so 2023 core. So if you're someone who like knows me and you think that's what this is because you see my bio change like once every 5 hours, I promise you that's not what it is. I swear to you, I swear on my right pinky toe knuckle. Try to think of something valuable for a second. I would have sworn on these things, but they're too pretty to be sworn on. See how pretty my sewing scissors are. Do you see? Okay, I'm done. But anyways, this is just an introductory video because a 90 to 400 character limit is not enough for me to like describe everything. So I guess to start I should say my name because that's like how to introduce yourself 101. I have 2 names. This is like a very common thing where I live and in my community and with people like me. We have a given name, which is a name that we are given at birth, and then a second name, usually something that we like take for ourselves. It changes over time. It really just depends on the person and type of name they choose for themselves. For example, my name is Karisu. That is the name that I've chosen for myself. It's a fairly unique name, and it has like a very specific ring to it. But it's a name that you can find me on practically everywhere. Like, I am on a lot of things. You can just find that you can. But I am on a lot of things. You just type in the name Karisu or karisu-chan, and it's like a little alien and the Milky Way card, and usually I am like the first thing that shows up. It's a photo of this beautiful face. In this outfit, actually. In this outfit specifically. But it's in a purple filter. And I'm like holding up a fan. This one right here, actually. And like, I'm trying to be seductive with it for some reason. I forget why. Wait, no. I remember why now. It's because I'm like so sexy and hot and beautiful, and it's like so hard not to like me. I just kind of gave in and decided to. I'm sorry. I have trouble taking myself seriously. But for real though, I actually don't know why either. I do think it's a cute picture though, so I'm gonna keep it. But some things about me. Hobby-wise, I like to read. If you can see my collection of books, there's more than that, obviously. My room is filled with them, but I like books. I like books a lot. Books are basically what raised me, in a way. Ish, sort of. That's where I got a lot of my social experience from, because, like, I wasn't chronically ill, so don't go like thinking that I was about to die any second. But when I was just a wee little baby, it's a little baby, I had problems with my heart and had trouble breathing. So I would have like trouble processing things and moving and walking, and like, for fuck's sake, dude, couldn't even blurt out a full sentence without getting fucking winded. That's how bad it was. And if I remember correctly, my oxygen levels were like always somewhere in the 30s. So socializing was just hard as shit for me because all the other kids were energetic as fuck, and I was over here just slaving my days away. lucky for me though, well, I'm not really too sure if this is lucky or not. I did make a couple of friends. Now, I wasn't entirely aware that these people weren't like actually my friends, but I was very clingy to them, and we got along fairly well. But there was just some issues with them that like kind of didn't realize until after we fell apart. For example, they just had no, they did not give a shit about my shit. I used to have a bookshelf like right next to my bed, and one of my friends, for some dumbass reason, every single time she came over, she would stick her feet up on there without taking the stuff down, and she would just knock it all over. And like there was some stuff there that I really cared about. Whenever I was like, "Hey, watch it. Those are my things." She'd be like, "Seriously, you seriously give a shit about this crusty, musty, dusty old thing that looks cheap and I can probably get like 3 others of for $5?" And I don't know about you, but at 10 years old, you shouldn't be doing that. I understand if she was like 6 or 7, but she wasn't. She was 10. No, I was also 10. I feel like 10-year-olds have enough brain capacity to understand that not everyone wants to spend $5 to $10 on some dinky little cheap plastic thing every single time it came over. That's just annoying as heck. But sorry, got a little off topic. Anyways, a lot of the stuff I know about today comes from books. For example, fire breathers drink alcohol to make their breath flammable. Or the amount of rings in a tree's trunk tells you how old it is. And a recipe for dandelion sugar. That's all stuff that I learned from books. Books are like extremely important to me, so you'd probably catch me dead in a ditch somewhere before I like donate a book or something, because I would just rather die than do that. And speaking of books, I also really like to write. Like, it is a pretty big hobby of mine. Writing is like a huge passion. I enjoy it a lot. I currently have, well, when I was younger, like 10 or so, I I had a Wattpad account, and me being 10, I wrote some like very shitty creepypasta fanfiction. Like, it was shitty. Like, the plot was terrible, and there was bad grammar, and you couldn't even read half the words. And I used to do this dumbass thing where I would try to talk like a medieval person, whatever that meant. So it's basically just typing like a retard in all of my books. So they were completely illegible for like the longest time. And I wrote so much that it got about 3 Google pages worth of content. Like if you search my old username, or if you did back in the day, there'd be like a bunch of stuff that showed up that belonged to me. Like a few other videos that I'd collaborated on with some of my friends on there. Had like a bigger following and stuff. Thankfully, now it's all being taken over by some BBL Instagram model. So, guess some of the cringe is erased, but a lot of images still pop up. Nothing bad. Usually it's just like a picture of me with messy hair, or my old shitty gacha character, or this nasty drawing of myself that I made. It wasn't nasty, it was just like poorly done. But I used it as my profile pic for a while. My current one, well, my most recent hand-drawn profile pic isn't any better. It's just more detailed. But now that I'm, after a while some home stuff happened, and like that friend was a little controlling of what I wrote because I would write about my adventures with like her and some of our other mutuals, and she didn't like that she didn't have control over it. But I was the person that got more reads, so instead of just writing her own version like I said she could multiple times, she would just be like blah 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 blah. I need to be cutting myself in this. Blah 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 blah. Depressed gotcha kid, depressed gotcha kid, depressed gotcha kid, blah 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 blah. Let's sing my song! Then obviously I was like, fuck no, we are magical girls, get it right, you dumb bitch. And eventually I lost my email for that account, so I had to delete it. And now I'm on a different one that has this long ass name that I can't change because Wattpad is just stupid like that. It also won't let me delete books for a while, but started to recently, so I might be able to change my @ I'm gonna give it a try whenever this video is over. But let's see here. Reading, writing, what's something else? Oh, sewing, duh. You're watching me do it right now. I've been doing it. This is a skirt that I've been working on fixing because I was participating in this art club project called Paint the Plow, and I got white paint all over it, so I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it kind of looks like something extremely inappropriate happened, so oopsie daisy. I also like drawing a lot. Like, art is a big thing of mine. You're probably gonna see a lot of art stuff around my room if I ever like post photos or videos. And I try and use like all sorts of different mediums. Like, I'll do art on paper, art with paint, art with markers, art with pencils. I also do a lot of lead pencil art. I have a big ass box of them over there. Let me pull it up. Maybe. Here it is. There's a lot in here. Here's a cute one. That one was of me and a guy I like. This was another one I made while gushing out over him. Oh shit, I would have made this about a year ago. And, oh cute! Here's what I made in 8th grade art class. What's one more example I can show? Decisions. Here's a nice detailed one. This one is a little more cringe in my opinion though, because like, not entirely sure what exactly I was trying to do with it, but like, I remember just being very upset about something, so I drew whatever this is. Oh, here's a bookmark I made for myself a while ago. Remember I said that like, my second name is Karisu. This is what I'm talking about. This is like my internet persona. That's who I present myself as. And obviously there's a bunch more in here. Sometimes whenever I like really like a guy, I'll draw myself with him, or the character I make for him. For example, this was a guy I had history class with in 8th grade that I liked a lot. I never really got to talk to him though, because he was my best friend, well, not my best friend's brother, but like one of my close friend's brothers. And I was also in a polycule with this friend, so just like trying to pursue his brother just felt kind of weird and wrong, like, and icky. So I just didn't. And for the most part, that concludes like hobbies. I also clean a lot, but that isn't really a hobby. That's just something that's necessary for me to do because I have a lot of space. I have a large room. It's like twice the size of most people's rooms I've visited. So it's like really important that I regularly clean it, especially since I have trouble getting rid of things. I don't understand why, but I always feel like I can make something out of something else. And it's weird. But it's also nice. But I was about to say something about passions, but it's like no. So I kind of went over all that. Uh, I guess future goals. That's another one to start off with. I feel like that's kind of important for people to know. I am a student at this special trade school called Jeff Tech. It's primarily meant for like car guys. For the most part, it just does car stuff, but it does offer a program and that has to deal with informational technology, and it's called digital media arts. That's the one I'm in. Essentially, what we do in there is we learn how to advertise. That's like the biggest thing, just advertisement. And obviously, there's other things that we do in there. For example, we do script writing, um, filmmaking, animation, graphic design, a lot of cool stuff like that. But what I've learned in there so far is how to use things like Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrate. And I'm currently learning how to use Adobe Premiere. We also work with cameras, like actual professional high quality cameras. And I even have my own SD card that belongs to the shop. It's in here with my keys and stuff. It's this thing right here. It comes in this cutesy little case. And I actually lost mine last year, but this year I'm not gonna lose it. I'll just keep it in the back of this flower nose compact. It's empty now, but I just feel like I'm serving some sort of cunt whenever I pull this out of my shoe and just flip it open. Like, I know whenever I'm putting my keys back and I'm walking out the hall, it'll just be like snap, snap, and the shoe goes. But I used to carry those things and this thing. I don't feel like this serves the same level of cunt though, and like I have lipstick in it, so if it melts or leaks, that might ruin the SD card, and I don't want to risk that. Other things for future goals. I really want to go to the Royal School of Needlework because, like I said, I like to sew. Sewing is a huge passion of mine. Unfortunately, when I was a bit younger, my clothes would get easily frayed, and I didn't get new ones, not because we couldn't afford it, but because, like, no one really noticed. My clothes were so frayed. But ever since I started sewing, I was like, oh shit, I can just make my own. So now I try to make like the cuntiest things imaginable because I love myself and I deserve pretty clothes. I just feel like it serves so much harder when it's handmade. For example, this skirt, it was cute before I started sewing over it, but I just feel like I'm serving a lot harder now that it has this patchy look to it. Uh, but realistically speaking, sewing is not going to be a maintainable profession for me. So I'm probably going to end up doing something graphic design because, like I said, I fucking love to draw. And graphic design is like drawing on the computer. But it's also a little bit more than that because you get to use special shapes and like apply images and edit them. It's just really cool for me. I like it a lot. And if the sewing thing doesn't work out, which more realistically speaking, it's not going to, I feel like graphic design is probably where I'm going to be. I originally went to that school because I wanted to do work with cameras, but as we started doing more of it, I realized that's just kind of a little too boring for me. Like, I like taking pictures, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I like the feeling of editing them a lot more. Other goals and ambitions I have going on, like I said, I go to the school of Jeff Tech. You should look it up. It's a really good school, and if you're my age and you're in the area, you should totally apply and enroll. Sneaky advertising. But I am on my shop's social media team. Sorry. And I'm also in the school's art club, which is where this skirt got white paint from. We had this event called Paint the Plow, and I participated because even though I wasn't like actually expecting to get accepted, I did anyways and figured I might as well enjoy it, make the most out of it, stuff like that. So I've been trying to participate as much as physically possible. So I participated in Paint the Plow, and I've done one fundraiser. There's gonna be a few more. I might do the art club field trip. Not entirely sure about it though, cause it's all the way out in Washington. In this state, I mean, in the state of Pennsylvania, Washington, PA. Not the state of Washington. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to a bunch of museums and stuff, and maybe a restaurant. It really just depends on how many people participate in the next fundraiser. But and I'm also last year I got on the honor roll, the presidential honor roll, and I want to do it again because I can. Because I did it once before. Why the heck can't I do it? Can't I do it a second time? So I want to do it again, but it means I have to be working super duper hard. And some other things that I think you should be conscious about if you've made it this far. I have autism and ADHD. So I'm used to growing up. I was infantilized a lot by my peers. Because they're all just assholes who treat people with autism like they're like dogs or something. It was weird as shit. One time, some dude in a class I had to make up work for asked me for a high five. And I was like, nah, because I don't really know the guy that well, and I don't touch people that I don't know on some level. And the girl next to me was like, oh, hey, Kalista, you want to give me a hug? You want to give me a hug? You want to give me a hug? I was like, okay. Because it was someone that I knew a little better, and I've hugged her before a few times. But, like, it just felt a little weird. Like, I was being whistled over or something. And but thankfully at this new school, stuff like that doesn't really happen anymore. I mean, sometimes I get weird compliments from teachers. Like last year, my current English teacher, before I knew her name, stuff like that, she said I looked like a doll. Like when she was out grading students, because some teachers have to do that. She was like, "Oh, look at that! You look like a little China doll." And I was wearing this skirt too. And I was like, thank you. I didn't want to be rude and say, hey, don't call me that. That's a little weird for someone I don't know too well. But at the same time, I really did want to. I decided to just be nice and roll with it. But, yeah, so weirdly silent. But other than that, for the most part, my peers treat me like an equal. Like, they're just as rude to me as they are to everyone else, or they're just as nice to me as they are to everyone else. And they don't treat me like I don't know shit. Like sometimes they'll ask me for help with their answers, and they'll cheer me on in gym class and things like that. Which is, and some of them are kind of rude because, not a bit of information for you, I'm a furry. Well, not like a furry. I'm a kimi no mimi, which is different from a furry. It's more human than animal. But because I live in buttfuck Redneckville, it's basically the same thing to everyone. They don't give a rat's ass what you are. If you wear something animal related, you're a furry. So because of that, people are just rude as fuck to me all the time. Like, I get barked at pretty often, yelled at. This doesn't happen super often, but like once or twice, some of the kids that like really hopping on it were sending me death threats and were telling me to go kill myself. And get this, they were saying they were gonna rape me, which is like what the fuck. Obviously, they never carried it out because they're fucking pussies. But if you're someone who says that to people, please get some help. Doesn't matter if they're a furry or not. Making comments like that is just not okay. The barking and meowing thing I can kind of understand because, like, it's something that, like, started on the internet and now it's just haha, funny. Even though it's kind of overused at this point. Sort of like Gen Alpha talk. Gen Z, not Gen Z slang, Gen A slang. Like, people use the word skibbity all the time at my school for gits and shiggles, but obviously it's really overused. But now they pulled down their pants and were like, hey, look at my yacht. Now that's too much. That is weirdly far, and they probably get arrested for public indecency. More stuff that you should know. I'm not entirely sure if this is like accurate or not, but I think I have something called PMDS or premenstrual dysmorphia syndrome. At first I thought it was just crying spells, but then I noticed the pattern that like I get these huge anxiety attacks over this one dude. I'm not gonna say his name because he's more than likely watching this. Probably not to the very end, but like I don't know, I just don't want to risk it. But I'm like very emotionally attached to this person. Granted, I don't really talk to him as much anymore because this fucking asshole will not let me. I don't understand why. Like I sent him a friend request a while ago, and he never accepted it. I followed him on some other socials, and he never followed back. But he did it for like a lot of our other mutuals. So I just like regularly have bad anxiety attacks over it because like I don't know if he does or not. Like I said, we're not that close anymore, but I feel like he strongly hates me. I wouldn't necessarily blame him because do you know that my anxiety attacks have gotten in the way of our friendship before and like probably disturbed him emotionally like really bad. I don't know how bad exactly, but I just feel like I did something really wrong. But it's been about a year since like our friendship kind of went downhill. A little over a year actually. And I am like extremely emotionally attached to this person. Even though we don't really talk that much anymore and like he probably hates my guts and stuff. Not guaranteed, but also not guaranteed. Don't really know for certain anymore. It's kind of hard to tell. But because I'm just so emotionally attached to this person, I'm like thinking about them all the time. Have you ever seen me just doing look at my eyeballs, doing one of these? Oh, you can't really see it that well. Let me try it again. Yeah, have you ever seen me doing one of these? I can do this on purpose, by the way. Ever seen me doing one of these? And I'm like just staring out into space, like, or I am more than likely just thinking about him, like really extra hard. If you catch me doing that, please do me and you a favor, and just don't talk about it. I I am very easily upset over this person. It just means a whole lot to me, and like right now, I know that's like the right thing to do, but I know it's the right thing to do, so I'm trying to let go of them because I just feel like that my emotional problems are just making life a whole lot worse for them. Probably not a whole lot worse. Like I'm some I'm some 15-year-old kid on the internet halfway across the country. What the fuck am I doing that's making his life miserable? But I do feel like it's disturbing him a little, at the very least. So I'm trying to like get over him by taking care of myself and making new friends and talking to more people. It's not really working. Don't get me wrong, I am trying. I am trying so fucking hard. I know it doesn't sound like I'm trying. I know I don't necessarily always act like I'm trying, but believe me, I am trying. But I just can't seem to shake this weird ass need to just start talking to this guy again. Like, obviously, I know it's extremely unrealistic thing to say, and that it's definitely never ever gonna happen. But if this dude can like come back into my life and just be a friend again, I just have this internal feeling that all my problems will be solved. And obviously that's a lie. I still have to put in my own effort. But just everything feels a lot emptier without him. It just feels a lot more depressed and sad and all that junk. Thankfully, I have my friends who are very kind, very sweet. They make me laugh, and they don't. And they always make sure to like never address this problem of mine because they know that my executive dysfunction makes me like break out in anger and tears every single time someone brings him up. Not like brings him up in like the sense that his not being here with me is hurting me. And once again, I'm really gonna try to not act like it's hurting me because I mean people have their own lives to get to and recognize that like everyone else has their own problems, their own things to do, and they can't just keep worrying about me for the rest of forever. I have to fix that for myself. So I try to avoid talking about it because like I don't want to get in the way of other people's stuff. And I don't want other people to be worrying about me. But I guarantee you, most of the time, I'm like not entirely alright. Just understand that I am trying. I am trying hard to try and be alright. Even though I'm not. But I really want to be. I really fucking want to be. So I'm gonna do like everything I can to. I'm not going to stop doing everything I can until I am. Which probably isn't going to be for a very long time. But also understand that, like, there's going to be situations where I won't be able to control myself. What I can control is my environment and, like, what exactly is triggering things. So if I ask you to not do something, for example, I ask you not to, like, make inappropriate jokes about this person around me. Or I ask you to, like, be a little nicer when talking about this person. Or don't be bitchy at me for being so attached to this person. Please just do you and me a favor and just do it. It'll be a lot simpler and like we'd have a lot less problems if you just let me at the very least try and take care of what's happening. I think I'm ready to end the video now. That's about everything. Sorry if the last bit didn't make any sense. I kind of turned my brain off and just let my mouth start moving. So I probably like repeated a bunch of stuff about 20 something times. But thank you for watching. I hope we get along well, and maybe I'll see you around. I'll link all my socials in the description.